Hey yeah guys, many of y'all have obviously watched my previous video where I've listed down some of the most important changes that might happen to the student, dependent and the work visa. And obviously many of y'all are concerned about it and I've left tons of questions on my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we will be addressing most of these. Now remember, if you are somebody who is on the student visa and is planning to go onto the PSW or onto the work visa, or if you are somebody who is planning to come into the UK as a working professional or a working healthcare professional, then this video is going to be highly relevant for you. So do not forget to watch this all the way to the end. But even after watching it all the way to the end, if you think, something doesn't fit right, I have another question, Nikita, please let me know in the comment section below. But if you have any pressing concerns about it, do not forget to book a one-to-one session with me, or maybe drop me a DM on Instagram, and my handle is Physiotherapy in UK. So let's start diving into today's content right now. Okay, so one of the most important questions that has sort of come up through the discussions on YouTube and through my Instagram account generally is, Nikita, what if I've been a student in the year 2022 to 23, or I'm going to be a student right now? What about if I am already in the process of transitioning to a work visa right now? Will I be affected in the process? And the answer to this is no. Now, if you've already made your application from a student visa into your work visa, whether it's a general tier 2 work visa or a health and care worker visa, then this is not going to affect you. All of the sort of changes that I've recommended before in my previous video, which I'm going to leave the link for right now above, will not be applicable for you. So definitely go ahead and make those applications, because all of these rules are not implemented at this stage right now. Also remember, only the applications that are made from January 24 onwards, those are the applications that are going to be held under question and scrutiny, and those are the rules that are going to be influenced from January 24 onwards. So if you are in the process right now of converting your student visa into a work visa or a carer visa, then definitely go ahead and make those applications. There is no restriction on you at the minute. Now, the second most important question that many of y'all have been asking me is, Nikita, say for example, I have got a work visa from India, Pakistan or Bangladesh, and I'm getting my dependents with me. Are there going to be any additional restrictions on them? And the answer to this is no. So whatever restrictions are there on the dependent visa are only related to the student visa. So if you are coming to do your bachelor's or your master's in the UK, you will not be allowed to get your dependents legally in the UK. But if you are coming for work, whether it's on a general tier 2 visa, the health and care worker visa or the carer visa, you are still eligible to get your dependents with you. Now let me make a very clear note right now. The dependents include your spouse and children under 18 years of age. It does not include your parents or siblings. So you are only allowed to get your immediate family, which is your spouse and children below the ages of 18 years old. Now, the third question that many of y'all have reached out to me saying, Nikita, the dependent visas is obviously changing. Are there any additional restrictions that have been added? So let me just inform you, the answer to this is again no. This is a good news for many dependents who are already in the UK, but also dependents who are planning to come into the UK. So if you are a spouse and if you are looking for jobs in the UK, you are allowed to work full time in the UK. There are no additional restrictions to you coming and working in the UK as a dependent. Now, obviously, this is a really good thing for many of y'all, because while one person might be working to support the family, the other person can obviously think about savings, potentially sending money back home, and obviously stabilizing your finances to a much stronger extent. So I would say that this is a brilliant news, especially if you are coming on a work visa in the UK. Now, obviously, just thinking about work visas, many of y'all out there have questions related to, Nikita, can I make my application internationally from India, Bangladesh, or Pakistan? Nikita, what is my chances of landing a job in the UK? Nikita, why am I not landing jobs in the UK despite making hundreds of applications? And the answer to all of this can be found on my YouTube channel. So please find the playlist that I'm going to leave the link for above. But also, if you need additional help, do consider booking a one-to-one session with me, because I know it can be very discouraging to make applications and not receive a positive response, because I've been there and I've done that, guys. And in the application process, I will be helping you to identify key places where you can improve your applications and possibly try and get more interviews in the UK. So definitely consider booking a one-to-one session with me. Now, coming down to the fourth question that many of y'all have asked me is, Nikita, are there going to be any changes to the PSW? What about if I'm sort of starting my program in the year 2023 or 2024? And let me tell you right now, the PSW is actually called the post-study work visa, which is applicable for all students who are planning to come and study in the UK based on the length of your program that you are studying for. So right now, for most courses, it stands that you will be able to be eligible to apply for a PSW nearly 2 years, that allows you to work within the UK for up to 2 years. Now, the idea for this is that students will be able to find jobs and fund themselves while they are living in the UK and making a living, but also will be able to use their degrees to work in the UK. Now, obviously, besides the benefit for the students, let's just see what the government is thinking about this. Now, as many of you all know, most of the educational universities in the UK and the government of UK is very aware that the sort of PSW brings about an influx of students and bright minds from all over the world to study and live in the UK. Now, if you are not aware about this, but the international educational market in the UK brings about 42 billion pounds in the UK, which is a large sum of money for them to lose. And obviously, the PSW has been this key or crucial thing to get this funding for the UK government. So, if I had to be honest, I personally don't think that they would be considering to hamper the PSW in any way. But honestly, these are just my personal views and I could be completely wrong about it. So do your own research, and if there are any more updates, I will update you on my channel. But I personally feel that if you are coming in the UK in the year 2023 or 2024, the PSW should be valid. But again, like I said, do your own research, because at that time, the rules might change. As of today, the PSW still stands and we are in May 2023. But in the following months, if there are any changes, I will let you know on my channel, guys. Now, coming down to the fifth question that I think influences many people when they specifically come and work in the UK is, Nikita, what is the situation of the job market over here? So let me just play this video clipping right now for many of y'all out there.
How many more houses do we have to build? How many more are they going to be putting in the hospitals? Are they going to be putting more surgeries? So that's my main concern, how we're going to be able to cope, because we're not really coping now, are we?
Next, we meet Ricky, who works in a warehouse. To be honest, he seems despondent and doesn't buy the government's argument that so much migration is needed to fill jobs.
I've tried to get into work in different places, and all it is now is agency, minimum wage, when really it should be concentrating on local people, getting them in, training them up.
So as you can see over this video right now, you know that many people working in the UK, especially many of the British citizens right here, are quite wary of having immigrants come within the UK, specifically because they are not receiving any jobs anymore. And this has been because there's been a massive influx of nearly 6 lakh immigrants in the last year alone. These immigrants obviously include students, working professionals, and their dependents, and all of the jobs are being taken up by this influx of people, which is why the people in the UK are obviously a bit weary of immigrants keeping on coming into the UK. This is one of the massive reasons why the UK government has now decided to hold off on the immigration plans and make more jobs available for all of the people who are present in the UK right now. This is one of the reasons why the dependent visa for the students have been shut, because as you can be mindful of, the dependence on the student visa last year or beyond the last 2-3 years was really high, and it reached peak levels. And obviously, that is one of the reasons why they've stopped the dependent visa for students. But that being said, I believe that if you are coming on a working visa, you still have opportunities to find jobs in the UK, because be mindful that obviously to get a work visa, you should be able to land a job in the UK. That's the whole premise of being able to work in the UK. We're not like the other countries such as US or Canada, where we're given a PR and then you come into the country, relocate there and try to find a job. The UK is a place where only if you have a valid working visa, only if you have a valid sponsored job, can you come and land in the UK and work here. So under that context, I feel that also because many of us are on the shortage occupation list, because we are healthcare professionals, vets, doctors, nurses, allied healthcare professionals, I think there is a really good potential, because obviously the NHS is struggling in terms of retaining staff, longer waiting times, maintaining sort of functional NHS working capacities within the UK. And I think there is a strong scope for healthcare professionals to build the systems that are already existing within the UK. So that's it for today's video, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, but also do not forget to follow me on Instagram, because I release daily content over there to help you to live in the UK, work in the UK, and also get some information about what it's like to be a healthcare professional in the UK. Take care, guys. Bye.